starting in 2003. I was watching the lead up to the war, and I in 2003, and I was reporting the TV, and eventually, for me, the news segments and the commercials sort of started to blend together. They're going to be like, well, 7 people died, and we bombed 4 villages, and so on and so forth, and then, by the way, buy this product, you're too fat, and you need a new SUV. So I just kind of like combined them in my mind, because they were already combined. And there was a moment where I think it was the Situation Room, and there was someone who was trying to explain how big the bunker buster bomb was. And they have that big wall, a video wall, and they're trying to explain it. And she's like, this bomb is so big, you don't understand how big this bomb is. And it's like spinning, and she's really excited. And then she's like, it's as big as a Lincoln Navigator. And then a Lincoln Navigator comes on the screen next to the bomb to show you, how big it is. And then she goes, but it weighs as much as 3 Lincoln Navigators. And then 3 Lincoln Navigators come on the screen. And so for me, the sort of the war and the aims of the war and the corporations, what they're trying to sell, all sort of mesh together in my mind.
Some fight for power. Some fight for greed. But one man fights for something more. Fire!
And so that's what those were. And a lot of them were made sort of out of kind of anger about what was happening. Later, there was an election a year ago. You may have all heard about it. There were these 2 candidates, and there was a lot of new media being used to sort of promote one or the other of them, right? So you had lots of artists, you had lots of remixers, you had lots of people online who were making remixes or videos about either McCain or Bush. McCain or Obama. And they both, many of them took the form of like a commercial, right? So someone would take a bunch of footage of McCain and make a commercial either for or against him, take a bunch of footage of Obama, make a commercial sort of for or against him. And a lot of them were creative, and a lot of them had a lot of publicity. But I felt, I wasn't going to make a remix about the elections. There was a lot of them out there already, and I didn't feel like that was what I wanted to spend my time with. But as time went on, I didn't see any remixes that really questioned the election process, or that really challenged both candidates on their similar positions, or that sort of like referenced this media circus that we call an election. And so I thought, well, maybe I should try to do that since it hasn't been done yet. To the degree that I wanted. And so what I did is I was watching this TV show, which I really liked, called So You Think You Can Dance. Right? And have any of you seen So You Think You Can Dance? Have you seen American Idol? If you don't, you're all lying. You've all seen it, and you're just embarrassed. And that's okay. But there's a sort of reality show competition format, which we're probably all very familiar with. And that's where contestants will get up and do whatever it is that they're going to do. But the judges will then critique them really harshly, and often the contestants will cry, and then they'll do better next week or whatever. But there's this sort of very brutal honesty about whether they did a good job or not from the judges, and I felt like that's sort of a meme that's something that we all sort of understand as a culture now, for better or for worse. And then I would watch the presidential debates or the interviews with the 2 candidates, and they would ask these sort of very softball questions, and they would give some bullet-pointed soundbite answer that was very carefully scripted, and the news anchor would go, "Oh, great, so what's your favorite color?" Like that was the level of discourse, and then they would repeat something about, and they go, "Oh, fantastic," and there was no holding of the politician's feet to the fire on issues. So basically, I thought, well, wouldn't it be really fun if the presidential candidates had to deal with the judges on a reality show? And it was in that format. It's kind of in that format already. in terms of a media circus. So the next one you're going to see is called "So You Think You Can Be President," and it's a reimagined reality show that I made up.
For the very first time, we've come to the nation's capital.
Cue music.
So you think you can, so you think you can, so you think you can be president.
Right now, we welcome Senators Obama and McCain.
Please welcome your host, Kat Deely.
Hello there, and welcome to the show. The pressure is on the contestants right now. It's enormous. They know they've got it all to do tonight if they want to win your votes. They also know that their performances are going to be critiqued by our panel of experts. Ladies and gentlemen, with a very difficult job tonight, please welcome your judges. Yes. And of course, executive producer, Mr. Nigel Lithgow. Now, without further ado, let's get down to the real business of the evening.
First answer is to you, Senator Obama. The priorities that you would bring as president.
We are going to invest in issues like education. We are going to invest in issues that relate to how ordinary people are able to live out their dreams. And that is something that I'm going to be committed to as President of the United States.
Let's go over to Mary. Mary, what do you think?
Yeah, when people talk about somebody that has it, you're that person. I've never seen the likes of you. I don't think America has seen the likes of you.
I am a big fan of you, and I've been pushing for you this whole time because there's something about you that I really, really like a lot.
Okay. Nigel, it's over to you.
Very difficult to critique you, to be frank, because without question you are inspirational to a lot of people.
Having said all of that, I will now say there was a bit of a fake performance in certain areas.
I looked at the camera and it felt phony. It didn't feel real. That was it. That's a minor detail, but overall, good.
And tonight, I'm very glad, that I'm not a judge.
Let's talk about energy and climate control. Aren't you both ignoring reality? And I believe the first question goes to you, Senator McCain.
We have to have wind, tide, solar, natural gas, flex fuel cars and all that, but we also have to have offshore drilling, and we also have to have nuclear power.
Nuclear power is safe and it's clean, or something like that. Look, clean coal technology. All of these things, we've got to drill offshore, my friends, and we've got to do it now.
That's crazy. I don't know where you come up with them from. Okay, we'll see. What did you make of it?
I might need my asthma pump. Yeah.
I love it.
I might need that.
I love it. Wow. What a night.
Do you have a major difference with what he just said?
No, actually, I think Senator McCain and I agree for the most part on these issues. And that means, yes, increasing domestic production and offshore drilling, and yes, nuclear energy, clean coal.
I don't want you to do any more than this. Yeah. No. That's enough. Mia.
I get what you're saying. I get it, but there's other ways of...
We're going to have to develop. I support clean coal technology. And clean coal tech...
Somebody gave you some wrong information.
I think that you may have been conned.
Yes.
I've got a plan.
And stop this nonsense, because this is nonsense, believing that.
Well, everybody said it. You let me down, though.
Okay, so what happens now?
We're going to shift gears here a little bit, and we're going to go to foreign policy and international matters.
What do you see as the lessons of Iraq? We went into Baghdad, and everybody celebrated. We came up with a great general and a strategy that has succeeded. And we are winning in Iraq. The surge succeeded beyond...
Thank you.
I'm speechless. I'm really literally, I feel like we're being punked right now or something.
Ashton, where's Ashton?
We are winning in Iraq. And we will come home with victory.
Let's have a reality check.
Look, we are winning in Iraq.
You are delusional. I feel like you're putting me on. I feel like you're putting them on. I feel like you wasted everybody's time. And you're looking there like I'm the crazy one. And that scares me.
The lessons of Iraq, Senator Obama.
I stood up and opposed this war at a time when...
Mayhem in the studio.
At a time when it was politically risky to do so, because I said that not only did we not know how much it was going to cost, but also because we hadn't finished the job in Afghanistan. We took our eye off the ball. So I would send 2 to 3 additional brigades to Afghanistan. We need more troops there, and I think that we have to do it as quickly as possible.
Can't say anymore. Oh, come on now. Come on. Why?
Because the place where we have to deal with these folks is going to be in Afghanistan and in Pakistan.
Wow, I'm just a little bit shocked.
We need more troops there. We need more resources
I just disagree with that whole concept. It didn't work at all.
We should never hesitate to use military force, and I will not.
I don't think you're listening.
I was doing this to you. I was trying to tell you, child, shut up. Bring it down.
I'm just trying to keep up with John.
You're on, this is a realistic television show, and you can't get upset just because we turn the heat up in the kitchen just a tad, just a smidget. It's just constructive criticism. It's just constructive. Everything we say to you is to make you better.
Wise words. Okay, back to the show.
Senator McCain, you get the last word. Senator Obama had the opening.
We've got a lot of work to do in Afghanistan. There have been 20,000 additional troops, and then there needs to be more. And so the point is that we will prevail in Afghanistan.
America is the greatest force for good in the history of the world. My friends, we are peacemakers, and we're peacekeepers.
What planet are you on?
I'm like waiting for you to unzip your skin and like come out like an alien or something, because like, you're not human. You're really, I swear, I'm just waiting for you to unzip your outerwear.
Before we end the show, let's go over to our judges. Some tough choices to make tonight. Nigel, is there anything that you'd like to say to these guys?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So we were disappointed with the pair of you. Everything you did appeared to be a trick, but we have to choose one of you to remain in the competition. You have to realize America is telling you something here. You've got to find it. Otherwise, next week, it's going to be your turn to go home.
Mary, it's the first time that you guys aren't in control. Is that kind of nice in a weird way?
Kind of mixed, isn't it? You know, I feel scared right now that America might get it wrong.
So think very, very carefully before you vote. Thanks to our judges. Thank you very much indeed, guys. Most of all, thanks to you at home for watching. I'm Kat Deely. Good night.
We got the message. I heard it on the airwaves. The politicians are now DJs. The broadcast was spreading. Station to station, like an infection across the nation. You know you can't stop it when they start to play. You gotta get out the way. The politics of dancing, the politics of rules, feeling good, the politics of moving. Oh, is this message understood?
That was all of So You Think You Can Dance season 4 and some of season 3. And luckily, I think that when I make a remix, it's really important that there's something that I like that I'm working with. Because watching those debates over and over again was torture. You know, it was really, really, really uncomfortable and like just infuriating. And so then I would switch to looking for the judges' responses. I'd get all caught up in it and watch the dance numbers, which are actually pretty good. But one of the things that I wanted to get at with this is, remix is sort of like a shovel in terms of its most of its messaging, right? It's very blunt. It's very like, bam, here's my idea, right? A lot of it's based on ridicule, and I think there's a place for that for sure. But I also think that sometimes you want to get at things from a little more subtle point of view, right? So I didn't want to take a position like, these guys are exactly the same. I don't think that they are. But they do have similar positions on many issues. So I wanted to sort of make a more subtle critique and give props to the fact that Obama got a lot of people engaged and hopeful, at least. At least that, So that's why I sort of tried to make this longer narrative, right, that has some other message besides just like they're the same, right? And to say, oh, he did oppose the Iraq War, but now he's going to Afghanistan's bad, that kind of stuff. Which means it had to be longer. There had to be a lot more dialogue back and forth, which can be hard to make convincing in remix form. So that's that. I released that 2 weeks before the election. I think it got like 40,000 views or something. I then was thinking about my next project, and there's a book, a movie called Twilight. You may have heard of it. How many of you have seen it? Yeah, it's okay. It's not. You're not that person. Those of you who haven't, if you've walked into the grocery store at any time in the past several years, you've seen a picture of the people from Twilight on the covers of every magazine as you walk down and check it out. So Twilight is written by a woman named Stephanie Meagher, and she is she's a Mormon, and that comes through very clearly in a lot of her stories. So the thing that I actually watched I hadn't read the book, but I went and watched the movie with my partner, and we were kind of horrified at the messages that were being portrayed. You've got this guy who's like this 90 or 100-year-old vampire who looks like he's 16, and you have this 16-year-old young woman who they fall in love. Well, they call it love in the movie. And basically it boils down to, I'm going to spoil it a little bit for those of you who I know are going to go see it later. He sneaks into her room and watches her sleep. This is one of the big romantic moments of the movie. And he's been kind of doing this for about 3 months, before they even met, right? He's been sneaking into her room to watch her sleep. Because he's a vampire, he doesn't sleep, so nothing to do but stalk people. So she wakes up and she sees him there and she goes, how long have you been doing this? And he's like, a few months, And she's like, really? You've been sneaking into my room every day for the past 3 months? That's really romantic. Like me, like all the people you could have stalked, it was me. It's really sweet. And of course, it's framed in that, he's romantic and he wants to protect her and so on, but in pretty much any context in reality, if someone did that, it's time for a call to the police, So just to watch this movie, and he follows her around, he stalks her, and she is very grateful and happy. He's like really overprotective. In the books, it gets a lot worse. He takes apart her car so she can't drive anywhere because he has to protect her by taking apart her car. It's like basically all the things that all the flags for domestic abuse, or like you might be in an abusive relationship. It's like there are like 16 things. They're like if any one thing is true on this list, you might be in an abusive relationship. All 16 are in these books, right? All of them. There's a moment where he's like, I've just never wanted to kill anyone as much as I want to kill you. And she's like, really? Oh. That is not a good sign if anyone ever says that to you. So I was thinking to myself, there's this other show that I really like. My favorite TV show is called Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is a brilliant TV show. And the whole premise of the show is that they're flipping all these sexist tropes, right? So the monster's like chasing the young woman down the street. She turns around and the monster's scared because she's the slave, right? So that's sort of the notion of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And so I thought, well, what would happen if Edward Cullen from Twilight, tried his antics on Buffy from Buffy the Vampire Slayer? And so I put them together, and you can see what happened.
Not late, but the bell rings. Uh-oh.
Sex. The sex drive in the human animal is intense.
Hello,
Of course, teenagers such as yourself.
I'm Edward Cullen.
Overwhelming. negative consequence of sexual activity.
So, spill. What was that all about?
Nothing serious, I think.
It looked like more than that to me. He got all googly-eyed.
Survey says vampire.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to figure you out. You're very difficult for me.
I'm the Slayer.
Um,
Slayer. Chosen one. Look it up.
no, I'm on a special diet.
What are you doing? Here, at this table, talking to me like we're some kind of talking buddies?
I feel very protective of you. Don't leave.
Hello?
And you and I are gonna go somewhere.
What?
Alone.
No.
I'll do whatever it takes. I don't have the strength to stay away from you anymore.
Well, he actually told you. He said, I love you.
Well, I didn't let him get that far.
Buffy, I'm really worried. These things can become pretty twisted.
Hi. Well, nobody's
Stop trying to see me. And stop calling me. You know, being stalked isn't really a big turn-on for girls. Get out.
I like watching you sleep. It's just kind of
Get out
fascinating.
or I will drop you out head first.
I just want to try one thing.
As if you could outrun me!
It's you. Your scent.
Did I ever tell you the whole smelling people thing's a little gross?
It's like a drug to me. You're like my own personal brand of heroin.
Oh my God, are you 12?
I've killed people before.
And you're sure this isn't just some fanboy thing? Because I fought more than a couple pimply, overweight vamps that call themselves Lestat.
I wanted to kill you. I've never wanted a human's blood so much in my life. Are you afraid?
No. You know what I feel? Bored.
I seek you out, flay you alive. One more word and you won't survive.
what Remix does is it actually takes the forms that are already there. So that's the music video, the trailer, the ad, the news segment, and then occasionally, some sort of short narrative. It's taking these forms that we're very familiar with, that we kind of all understand, and then it replaces the content. So it's critiquing the content, not the form, right? It's using the mainstream forms, right? These sort of soundbite-driven forms, and it's doing it to present you with information that you would never see in that form. So with this, it didn't make any sense unless they were actually talking to each other. It just didn't feel right. So I thought, well, that means I have to watch every single episode of Buffy again. There's 144 of them, I think, which was fine with me. So I watched them all again, and I watched them with an eye for reactions to something he might say. So I took literally almost every single frame of Edward being creepy, and I sort of memorized it in my clips. And then I said, well, I need her to respond to these things. He says this, she has to respond to that in some way. But she says lots of great stuff. Lots of it's in graveyards at night, right? So if he says something creepy in the middle of the day in school, you can't cut to her being in the cemetery with some witty retort, because it just would look ridiculous. So I had to he's in school, she's in school, and she has to interact in some way that actually makes it like they're having a conversation. That's very hard to do if you're just working with the set material, So it took me 6 months to do that. I watched all of Buffy and took notes, the whole thing. I cataloged those notes, I pulled out clips for all those things, and then I started building it. One of the things I realized about narratives is that you have to have, if you just make a bunch of things, you put them together. So say you have some great scenes. There's all these ways in which we read television and movies that tell us that time has passed. That you started in the morning with one day, and then it's the next day and the next night. And you have to know that, but they can't tell you. They don't have a narrative to tell you that. So there's all these things that tell us visually that time is passing, right? Because it doesn't make any sense if they're just like back to back. So I had to learn how to do that. I was watching TV being like, how do they switch between scenes? I don't care about the story, just switch to a scene. And then I'll be like, oh, it's a shot outside, and then the city lights, and then it's raining, and then it's the next day, right? But and as TV viewers, we kind of understand how this works, even though we can't really articulate it. Because I was like, I've seen this a million times. I know I don't know how to do it. What the heck is happening? So I had to learn how to do that, all that stuff, which took some time. I also had to, I really had to think about this idea of narrative. And it has to be a beginning, middle, and end that makes sense, right? And it can't be very long because it's impossible. So it ends up being 6 minutes, I think. So I released it, I went to something called the Open Video Conference at Yale Law School. I released this, I showed it to a room full of maybe 150 people. The next day, I came back to the conference, and people were like, oh, your remix was on Jezebel.com. And I was like, really? And then I checked, and I was like, wow, it has a lot more hits. But YouTube takes a while for you to tell you, they tell you how many hits you have. So I was thinking, okay, well, that's cool. A bunch of people are seeing it, a couple thousand people. And then I left the conference, and I was getting on a plane. My plane was delayed, so I had my iPhone. Can't watch Flash on my iPhone, so can't check YouTube. So a friend of mine was texting me, and she was like, I saw your remix on Entertainment Weekly website. And I was like, ha ha ha, that's funny. And she was like, no, really, it's on the Entertainment Weekly website. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. And my phone was really slow, and I couldn't see it, and I was like, I don't think this is stupid, you're making this up. And then someone else texted me, and they were like, oh, it's on Perez Hilton's website. And I didn't know who Perez Hilton was, so I was like, okay. And within a week, it had 1 million views. It was, and the LA Times called me, and they were like, I have an interview with the guy who killed Edward, And they said, the paper is a fan of your remix. And I thought, that's okay. They did a little interview with me, and they put it in the paper. It was on they put it on the website. It was entertainment section. It was Buffy versus Edward, And they said, when they talked to me, they said, we're going to call the producers and writers of Buffy and ask them what they think. And I was like, no, please don't do that. And they did anyway. They did anyway.
Why you wouldn't want them to do that, for example?
I mean, there's some copyright issues. I mean, I think this is fair use for sure. It's critique, it's commentary, it's transformative. It's all the things that make something fair use. But just because it's fair use doesn't prevent the owner from suing you because they don't like it. So the owner of Buffy is not the writer or executive producer, actually. The owner is Fox. So if Fox doesn't like it, they can say, take it down. I can say, no, it's fair use, and they can say, well, we have lawyers and money. And I can say, it's fair use. Luckily, I actually do know lawyers now after going through this process, but who have asked me very carefully to please get sued so they can take it to court. But I think that the issue there is always a little bit nerve-wracking, right? Because if someone sees their the show that they work on suddenly in a different context with different critiques, right? Certainly, I don't think that the writer of Twilight was very happy about this one. Anyway, the Times contacted Martin Nixon, who's one of my favorite writers of Buffy. She also was the executive producer at the end, and she said she loved it, and she was glad that Buffy and Edward didn't end up doing the smoochies, right? Which I was also glad. It's sort of gotten a lot of attention since then. I have a long list of blogs and papers it's been in, and it's pushing about 3 million views now. Which for a remix about pop culture vampires, I feel like is pretty good. I wrote an article about it, which is called "What Would Buffy Do," which was a Bitch magazine, or at least on their online site. Where I described the process and why I did it. I mean, I definitely felt like Twilight takes gender rules back about 200 years. It really does. It's very progressive in terms of gender politics. It's very progressive in terms of feminist politics. And I feel like Buffy is kind of the opposite of that. And funny that Buffy, was in the 90s, and this is sort of like the new role for this vampire story is very progressive, and it's very popular. So I've actually had a lot of great commentary. I mean, a lot of amazing people have been writing about it and posting comments, and a lot of them say, like, oh yeah, I really like Twilight, but I guess he's kind of creepy, just kind of the whole just to sort of critique the way that Hollywood frames it. It seems to be it's like the same story over and over again. It's what we call a trope, a media trope. It's like you see it over and over and over again, and we don't have to explain it. We just know how this works, right? So the way it works is that the guy goes, hey, to some woman, and she goes, no. And then he goes, well, and then she goes, no. And then the course of the film is him trying to, trick her into dating him, and then at the end she falls in love. Right? That's the story, right? That's the story over and over and over again. And you have all these really creepy behavior on the part of dudes that's framed as really romantic. So have you all seen Say Anything? Say Anything is John Cusack. It's a very iconic sort of 80s movie where these two young kids are falling in love and all this stuff. And then she dumps him for whatever reason, and he takes the most intimate song that they have in their relationship. He puts it on a boombox, and he stands outside of her bedroom window with the boombox and the intimate song, for all the neighbors and everyone and her dad to hear, So imagine if you really didn't like the guy who dumped him, and then he came to your house and did that. That's creepy, right? But in the movie, of course, you have sympathetic to him, and so they frame it in this way. Similar to Pretty in Pink and Duffy's behavior is really stalkery. So it's a lot of this stalker behavior that's sort of framed as oh, isn't that romantic? When really it's just it's not, right? And so that's kind of what I was getting at with this, and I think that there are. It's also fun to see something with a good gender message being pushed through, many different networks. And I think that's actually what makes it powerful. That's what makes it about communicating an idea to people outside of an art gallery, outside of the intellectual class or academic class, right? A lot of these videos are for everybody. Everybody who's heard the John Lennon song then watches that and goes, ha!
1, 2, 3, 4.
Imagine. Peace. Imagine. Peace.
is give peace a chance. Let's come together. All I'm saying is give peace a chance. Give peace a chance. Imagine.
If it didn't follow the music video format, you would lose those viewers. And the whole point is to talk to those people. Right? So it's a much more populist, I think, way of communicating because it's using pop culture, using the top 40 pop hits, using the thing that was on TV last night, using the movie that's in the theater right now. All that stuff is really important to make your comments on culture.